Today, I'm gonna walk you through some pretty insane survival mods that completely flip Minecraft on its head. First up is natural progression, which completely overhauls the early game survival mechanics. You spawn in, and guess what? You can't punch trees anymore. Instead, you're picking up pebbles from the ground and breaking leaves to get sticks, real caveman stuff. To make flint, you need to place a pebble in your main hand and another in your offhand, then right-click to strike them together. It takes a few tries, but eventually you'll create your first piece of flint. With that flint and a stick, you can craft your first proper tool, a flint hatchet. But even that's different. You have to strip the bark first, and each log only gives you 1 plank instead of 4. Brutal, but kind of awesome once you get used to it. Then there's the HT's tree chop mod. This one's pretty cool. When you chop a tree, it actually looks like you're cutting through it. The trunk gets thinner with each hit until the whole thing comes crashing down. Logs, leaves, everything falls at once. Serene Seasons adds another layer by bringing actual seasons to your world. Spring looks super vibrant with bluish green flowers everywhere. Summer turns everything more yellow-green tinted, while fall brings those amazing orange and red colors. And winter, let's just say snow shows up in places that never had it before. That's where the legendary survival overhaul really kicks in. This mod introduces a new temperature system that you absolutely can't ignore. That little temperature gauge in your HUD, it's not just for show. It's literally life or death now. Winter isn't just pretty snow anymore, it's downright dangerous. I found this out when I stupidly went scavenging during a blizzard in leather armor. My screen gets all blurry, and suddenly I'm moving like I'm underwater. Before I can even process what's happening, bam, I'm dead. And it's not just the cold you need to worry about. Hit up a desert during peak summer and you're in for a whole different kind of trouble. The heat meter maxes out. Your screen starts wavering with these trippy heat distortion effects. Your stamina bar drains like there's a leak in it. And if you don't find shade or water quick, you'll literally start taking damage from heat stroke. There's also this thirst system with a blue bar that's constantly dropping, especially when you're running around or sweating in the heat. One of your first crafting priorities should definitely be a canteen. It's super simple to make. Just grab 5 leather and 1 iron ingot for the basic version. And get this, you can't just chug any old pond water you run into. That'll give you nasty parasites. I've had to run them through a furnace for boiling to purify it. And finally, let's talk about the body damage system. It's like Fallout met Minecraft and had a baby. Forget the simple health bar. Now every part of your body can be individually damaged. Your head, torso, arms, and legs all have their own health pools, and injuries to each affect you differently. Take a big tumble off a cliff. Good luck running anywhere fast with those busted legs. And if some skeleton nails your arm with an arrow, man, you'll be swinging that pickaxe and sword like you're underwater. So, you've got your temperature system, your thirst mechanics, and body damage all working against you. Let's now throw a food decay mechanic into the mix. The spoiled mod is going to make you think twice about hoarding 50 steaks in your inventory. That stack of raw beef you just collected, yeah, it's on a timer now. Leave it sitting in your inventory or a regular chest for too long, and it'll start to rot. Oh, and if you want your food to look as gross as it actually is, grab the Rotten Foods add-on. It gives all your spoiled food custom textures so you can literally see that bread turning moldy and that steak turning green. And that's where the salt mod becomes absolutely essential to your survival. It's like the perfect companion to the spoiled mod. You'll discover salt deposits naturally spawning in your world, usually in desert biomes or along ocean shores as these beautiful white crystalline blocks. Mining salt isn't just for show either. This stuff is literally life-saving when all your food is constantly rotting. You can now salt meat to cure it, extending their shelf life by like 300%. While the cooking for blockheads comes in to complete this trinity of food mods. This mod lets you build a fully functional kitchen with multi-block structures. We're talking countertops, sinks, cooking tables, ovens, the works. But the star of the show? Definitely the refrigerator. The fridge directly works seamlessly with the spoiled mod to dramatically slow down food decay. Alright, so let's talk about the pollution of the realms. This mod adds a pollution mechanic where all your Minecraft activities messes up the environment. First, let's look at what creates pollution in your Minecraft world. Furnaces are one of the earliest pollution sources you'll create. Whether you're cooking food or smelting ore, you're producing pollution that can harm your environment if not managed properly. Torches are another major pollution source and might be the toughest to control since they're the main light source you'll use everywhere in your house, caves, or around your base to keep monsters away. You get the idea. As pollution spreads through your world, things get pretty rough. Water turns nasty yellow and poisonous. Villagers start coughing and eventually drop dead. Your farm animals stop giving as many resources before they kick the bucket too, sometimes just leaving you with gross, rotten flesh. But hey, it's not all bad news. You can totally fix this mess with filters that stop all those nasty greenhouse gases from wrecking your world. The mod gives you 3 types of filters: iron, gold, and diamond. And each one handles a different kind of pollution: carbon, sulfur, or dust. You'll need to keep these filters stocked with materials and clean them regularly. Don't skimp on making a bunch of them either. If too much pollution builds up in one spot, it can actually explode. For a carbon filter, just stuff it with any kind of leaves. Place it on top of a furnace and it'll filter carbon emissions from below. Sulfur filter works the same way but needs wool instead. I highly recommend using the Advanced Chimneys mod, as you can redirect emissions with chimneys and vents to manage everything better. Not to mention, it just looks aesthetically more pleasing. Another small but impactful mod that works seamlessly with the pollution of the realm setup is one that transforms Minecraft's oldest mechanics: fire. Introducing the Burnt mod, which completely overhauls how fire behaves in your Minecraft world. In Minecraft, when something burns, it just disappears, right? Not anymore. With the Burnt mod, when you light wooden structures, trees, or even grass on fire, they don't vanish. They transform into charred, twisted remains. And speaking of environmental challenges, let's talk about thin air. This one's a game changer for anyone who loves mountain or cave exploration in Minecraft. So you know how you can climb to the highest peaks and mine at the lowest depth of a cave, but breathe just fine? Well, thin air fixes that unrealistic aspect by adding altitude effects. The further you get from sea level, the thinner the air gets, and the harder it is to breathe. Past certain Y levels, you'll start experiencing slowness, mining fatigue, and even damage if you go without preparation. To survive high or low altitudes, you'll need special gear like respirators or these airbags that help you breathe in thin air. It adds this whole new dimension to expeditions. It's honestly one of those mods that makes you wonder how you played without it. The extra challenge of planning your ascents and managing oxygen levels makes mountain and cave exploration feel so much more rewarding. If you've ever felt that Minecraft's water mechanics are too static and kinda unrealistic, the water erosion mod brings genuine geological processes to your world, allowing flowing water to gradually carve away at dirt, sand, and even stone blocks over time. Imagine watching as your rivers naturally deepen their channels, creating realistic gorges and valleys without having to terraform everything manually. Complementing this perfectly is the flowing fluid mod, which overhauls how liquids move through your world. Instead of the rigid, grid-based water spreading we're used to, this mod implements more realistic fluid dynamics. Water cascades naturally down slopes, forms realistic pools and depressions, and creates convincing waterfalls that vary based on volume and height. And finally, we all know that when you sleep in Minecraft, time fast forwards to morning. But have you ever wondered what happens to the world while you're sleeping? Somnia Awoken answers that question by keeping your world ticking at an accelerated pace while you sleep. Your crops continue to grow, furnaces keeps churning out ingots, and monsters remain on the move throughout the night. But there's an interesting twist to the system. The longer you stay awake in-game, the more fatigue your character accumulates, as you can see on the bottom right corner. This mechanic slows you down, makes you tired, and it directly affects how quickly time passes during sleep. The more exhausted your character becomes from staying awake, the faster the world simulation runs when you finally do rest.